As we have seen, one of the major reason for repetitive strain injuries is manual material handling. So let us look how the material handling to be done in a safer manner. I would name it as smart lifting. Smart. We need to be smart. We need to understand things so that we carry the manual material handling in a proper manner. This is one of the thing we should follow before lifting a material. That is, size up the load. The first S in smart lifting. Okay, size up the load. Assess the load. Lifting depends on shape, size and weight. Our human brain is very fast. It takes seconds in analyzing, which with time, with experience, it can analyze the things very fast. So give few seconds in analyzing and understanding the load which we have to lift. Determine where the load needs to be moved and placed. So the path, so that we understand the hazards involved in it. Like in the industry, usually there may be many obstructions, because with time the materials are moved and the path where we have to take the material keeps changing. The hazards may not be the same. After few minutes it may change. So determining the loads and the place to which it has to be taken to be understood. And the main important thing before you take another step is determine whether it can be done all alone. You have to check if the load can be lifted properly. We have understood very well that the carrying capacity of a healthy person, men and women, we have already gone through, and how much we can lift we have already seen. That's a usual thing, but the capabilities again changes from person to person. So it is very important to determine whether it can be lifted all alone or whether it can be lifted in a team or a mechanical aid is required. That is very important. So when you are lifting, the second most important thing is move the load as close to the body as possible. That is M in the SMART. So moving the load close to the body as possible, we have seen already, we have understood what is center of gravity and how the load carrying capacity reduces as the loads go away from our center of gravity, as the load center of gravity goes away from our center of gravity. So carry the load as close as possible by securing your grip. That is more important. Then always bend your knees. Squat or semi-squat position. Bending your knees is very important. During this, your back needs to be straight. Straight doesn't mean it has to be vertical always. Your back straight means it can be inclined, but in a straight position. That is more important, so that your muscles don't get strained. Your back injuries, probability of your back injuries reduces. So keep feet apart in a comfortable position and bend your knees, usually in line with your minimized lower back bending. So that will help in reducing the strain. So A in SMART is always bend your knees, that is squat or semi-squat position. Now R in SMART, that is raise the load with your legs. So as we have already told that we should bend our knees. So while raising also we should ensure that our back is straight. We are not putting strain on the back. Lift the load with your legs. not with your back in a smooth motion. That is more important. Avoid twisting or jerk movements. Maintain normal curvature of the spine so that it is not injured. Now let us come to the T, the last one in the SMART. Turn your feet in the direction you want to move. So turning is very important. As we have seen, twisting is not allowed. You should turn with your feet. Change direction by pointing your feet and not twisting your back. To set the load down, again follow the same procedure. Squat down, keep your head up and allow your legs to carry the weight. That is more important. So let us see this animation and understand properly how to lift the load and keep it back in a proper manner. You can see that here the back, how it is kept straight and how it is less strained, and how we are bending our knees and we are taking the load in order that the load is taken care by the feet, taken care by the legs and not by the back. This will help in better handling of the materials and less injury to the back. Hope you will keep this in mind. As I've told you, a human's brain is very fast in understanding things. So it is very important we keep these in brain while handling the material. So the same thing we are talking about team lifting. Team lifting is very, very, very important because many of the things we will be doing with the team. And we know that accidents can happen though we are doing it in a safe manner. We should also expect that the other person is doing it in a safe manner. If the other person is not safe, it is as simple as riding a bike on the road. If you are going on the road, though you may be driving safe, if the other person is rash and careless, is not driving properly, the chances of getting injured is high. So in a teamwork, the synchro, the frequency of the person matters a lot. Let's see what things to be considered while team lifting. Go with the first question. Are there enough people? Because it depends on the weight, shape and size while carrying the load. Are all the person of same size with similar strength? As we have understood in SMART lifting, that twisting, turning, jerking while lifting is unsafe manner. So in a team lifting, if a person lifts all of a sudden, the other person will have jerk, or the person who is lifting may have jerk. So it is very important that the persons are of similar height and similar strength. Are there any known person? If there is known injuries, it is better to avoid. Then there should be a coordination, there should be a plan for carrying the work. There should be a communication between the team members so that the material handling is done in a proper way and no one gets injured. Let's see the other one. If you are using a mechanical aid, which one do you prefer, pushing or pulling? Let's understand this. When you are pushing, lean forward, stand close to the trolley. That is more important. Leaning forward, it doesn't mean that you are away from the trolley. When pulling, lean backward. Pushing is preferably better than pulling. The reason is there is less strain on our back muscles, or it involves less work by the lower back muscles and allows maximum use of body weight. It allows the employee to have a clear picture in front of him. So the path in which he has to go, he can see it properly. He can know the hazards or the obstructions which may lead to slips and falls. So ensure you have a good grip, avoiding twisting and turning, checking that the handle height is between the shoulder and waist height. This we have already understood with respect to center of gravity, where we are talking about power zone. So the handle, if the handle is in between in the power zone, then the strain on the back is less. Now let us check the improvement options. We'll see some pictures, we'll understand with reference to what we have learned and how we can improve the workplace station or the works which we usually carry during manual material handling. This is taken from the guidelines for safe material handling from NIOSH. So in this we will understand the improvement options with reference to easier ways to manual material handling, that is lift, lowering down, fill or empty containers. Second one is easier ways to manually carry containers, and the third one is alternatives to manual material handling of individual containers. So here we are very particular, that is individual containers. So let's get into our first section, that is easier ways to manual lifting, lowering, fill or empty containers. As we have already understood about the team lifting comes with some hazards, and we have already understood and we have already discussed. So the caution here is team lifting can increase the risk of a slip, trip or fall accident. So it is very much needed that we plan, coordinate and have a good synchro while carrying the teamwork. The next one is like if we are using scissor lifts, load lifter or pneumatic lifter, it helps us to do a better job without an injury. So scissor lifters, instead of straining our muscles, we can transfer it, like we are seeing in the top corner, like there is a sliding surface given so that he can slide the things straight away to the workstation or the place where it has to be slided off. So shelf level sliding mechanism for the lifter is given. So here we can see a person working down below and lifting it and keeping it to the workstation surface is not a good practice. Instead of that, if you are giving a scissor lift, it is easy to lift and keep it on the surface table. So these are some of the examples where we can improve on. Next one is use a turnable table. See, as stretching, twisting is not allowed in material handling, so it is very important that we don't twist our body while handling things. So if a rotating table can be provided, that will allow us to work fast enough and also to avoid injuries. So in this we have to be cautious that to promote stability when loading and unloading, rotate the turntable occasionally to avoid the build-up of load on one side. So rotating, that is important, otherwise there is a chance that the table may tilt out and fall on us. Here we can see stacking the things, especially in the stores and all, where we see that the ladders should be of appropriate height, or the work we are doing should be in our power zone most of the time, so that it reduces the strain. So here we can see that a person lifting the load above his head always strains his back more. So the probability of straining your back, straining the back muscles and getting injured is high. And probably this will be a repetitive job in the industry. So the possibilities are high that you're not giving time for that muscles to recover fast. So use a step stool or use a portable steps, use catwalks or flat platforms for for handling the materials. When using portable steps, tools, catwalks or other working platforms, follow all manufacturing recommendations for proper use. Use only equipments appropriate to the weight, size and shape of the loads being handled. Here, this is what the power zone, again we need to remember. Here we can see that a portable work platform is being made so that different height persons can carry the work safely. Here we can see a women and a men working on a adjustable platform where they are carrying the work in their power zones and reducing the chances of getting injury. Next, as we have already discussed, working in the power zone is very important. That can be done with the help of stack pallets or electric or pneumatic scissor lifts, or used power stackers. So this will help in working in our power zone. So this is one of the important thing where we can really think on, because many a times we miss this. Storing the materials according to their weight. If we are doing only manual material handling, that is, we can handle more weight in our power zone as compared to other positions, that is near to our closer to our body and near the power zone. So if we have to handle materials which are of higher weight as compared to the others, that can be kept in the shelves which is in our power zone. Like in this picture we see the heavyweight object is kept in the power zone, whereas the weights which are smaller than the heavier one are kept low below, so that the strain on the backbone muscles are reduced and the chances of injury comes down. Now here we can see that different shapes use fixed or adjustable tilt stands for smaller containers. Here we can see the bottles, the container, the trolley or the stand which is being used for handling this material. There is a tilting mechanism down below which helps in tilting it out so that we can remove any material that is needed, or to take out the container out from the stand. That will really help out. So tilting mechanism can be taught for better handling and easier handling, holding it and carrying the work in a simple and safe manner. Then we can always improve by giving a better grip to the materials being handled or the containers being handled. So better grip always gives a chance that we hold it firmly, and the chances of falling on our leg and getting injured also gets reduced. See here there is a extra handles are given so that the tilting becomes easy. Also the objects where tilting has to be done, if there is some base or against a fixed object or a rack it is done, then the strain comes down and handling becomes easy, and the time required for carrying the work also reduces. Now coming to the second section, that is, it talks about improve your grip, reduce stress on your back and shoulders, reduce contact pressure on your shoulders and hands, reducing the effort and the force needed to perform work task. So here we can see a pot holder being modified, and necessary grips are given for the container or the material to be handled. The material or the container is put close to the body near the power zone. And the second thing what we can do is like the container size itself can be reduced. So if a person intentionally want to carry higher load also, he cannot carry it. So if the load being carried can be reduced by reducing the container, then the possibility of carrying the work in a safer manner increases. So this can be administrative control and also engineering control, of course, so that the risk is reduced. Also, wear proper size gloves that fits. Gloves with rubber dots on the surface can increase grip stability on slippery surface, and this comes with a caution: be aware that gloves can reduce your grip strength up to 60% depending on the material they are made of and how many pairs you wear at once. So kindly keep this in mind. So the material which you are using and the material which you are handling, it is very important that you have to analyze the risk before using the gloves. Now if we see like a bucket, like or a container with a handle, you can improve the grip by increasing with a padding or a clamp on handle. That will help in better grip and less strain on while carrying it. Let us get into the third section, that is alternatives to manual handling of individual containers. This can be done by changing the container, use a tool, use non-powered equipments, use powered equipments. Let's see some examples regarding this. This is one of the example, like instead of lifting and pouring from the drum, insert a siphon or a pump. This will help in easy handling, but this comes with a caution that to prevent cross contamination, chemical incompatibility and flammability hazards, do not interchange pumps or siphons among different containers containing chemicals or containing different materials. So kindly keep this in mind, otherwise it will be a problem. Then increase the size of the container or the weight of the load so that it is too large to handle manually. Last time we have seen reducing the size of the container for manual handling. The same can be done by increasing the container size so that it becomes very tough for him to do it manually and he has to depend on the tools. Use a hook for lightweight containers to reduce your reach. Using a hook, we have seen turntables also being used. We can use hooks for pulling from a distance so that it reduces reaching out or stretching ourselves and straining the muscles. Here we can use a hand cart, can have multiple shelves for moving a variety of containers. See here we see this specialty hand truck with brakes which allows more control when heavy loads are on incline thing what we are seeing. Two-wheel hand trucks works well for transporting bottles or cylinders or short distances, where hand trucks can be fitted with trays to carry bottles or cylinders. We have to ensure that they are rigid and they do not fall in between. Two-wheel carts works well for loads up to 130 kgs. So keep in mind that two-wheel carts we are not overloading. This hand truck is convertible into flatbed, into four wheels and also into a two-wheeler cart. So this will help us in handling the material, loading, unloading, and it will help in carrying the work in a safer manner. Then the scissor lifts with a foot pump to raise or lower the flat platform so the containers can be slide on or off, and also we can work at our power zone. Now Coming to handling of containers, we can use slides or chutes to do the work, use spiral conveyors, or design a conveyor system which delivers the containers directly into the position for loading. So this is one of the thing where the handling, here we can see in the picture, if there is no slides, then it has to be brought from the top to the bottom, maybe manually, or we can think of some other lifts for handling the material. But if there are no lifts, obviously they have to bring it down manually, which is again chances of getting injured increases. We can see this conveyor systems, we can use conveyor systems, we can use curved skate wheels. Usually find it in companies like Coca-Cola and all. Then we can use skate wheel conveyors, we can use expandable skate wheel conveyors, so that accordingly we can carry out the work. Then so these are some of the examples. And also we can use powered trucks like forklift, we can use hoist, we can use zip cranes, we can use powered equipments for handling the material in a safe manner. And this will surely reduce the strain on the persons who are handling it, and will help in better working, will help in safe working and carrying the work in a safe manner. Hope this class is useful, and surely you'll think about your works being carried and put on your thoughts, put on your thinking, so that the workstations or the work systems are improved, so that you have a better health, you take care of your health in a better way. And we have only given some of the examples. The reason is to give an idea to you, because you are the one who can analyze the work better, because you deal with it day in and day out. So now it's time for your thinking process. Now it's time to think and improve your workplace and make it a better place, better, safe and healthy place to carry the work. Thank you so much for your patience listening.